This is what Kalen DeBoer is. This kind of creativity offensively, toughness, ability to battle back. This is what he's done everywhere he's been as a head coach. And this Alabama team was backed into a corner after a week one loss. They clearly have come together, and they have come out swinging. That's been on display tonight here in Athens.
Crimson Tide come between the hedges and beat Georgia again.
Scrimmage on third down. Pre-snap movement. Ashford goes to the air. Down the sideline, it's incomplete. But there is no flag down, and Jake Dickert and Robbie Ashford are irate.
Please snap, good hold, it's up! And good! Illinois wins on a last-second walk-off field goal by David Olano. 34-32.
Fake it to Pena. Aller, sideline. Oh, it's picked! Dylan Thieneman calls game. That's a walk-off whiteout winner for the Ducks.
4th down and 12 to keep the game alive in overtime number 2. Here comes the blitz. Castellanos in trouble. Heaves one towards the end zone. Intercepted. It's over. Virginia has done it.
Welcome back to the program, folks. We're back here with Week 5's college football recap. And I'm not sure how we're going to fit all of this into an hour-long episode because from start to finish, it got crazy. Friday night, had a top 10 team lose to an unranked team in double overtime. What a way to start it. Sunday morning, on your way to church, we had a Power 4 head coach get fired. Most of us saw it coming. But regardless, I'm your boy Brandon, by myself again. Sadly, yeah. Play the piano music, solemn piano music in the background, please, for me. Appreciate it, Casper. One would consider me a college football connoisseur. I love the game of college football. I love talking about it. I love learning about it. I love being an outlet for college football. All related college football things. Most of all, I love watching it. And if you feel the same way, if you even feel the same or even have an interest or want to learn about it, want to get a new hobby, want to get into a new hobby, a new thing to do in your free time, I'm your guy. This show's for you. So please like and subscribe. Follow on YouTube, Instagram, Twitter. We're on all of it. We release our podcasts, audio on Spotify, and our video on YouTube. I put many of my free time hours into this, and it'd be a dream come true if you would follow along with me because, you know, it costs nothing to do that. And just help your boy out. Like, subscribe, throw a comment here or there. Shout out JT. I carry the boats once again, JT. It's all me. It's all left to me to carry this thing. Stick with me here. We're going to try and fit this all into an hour-long episode of everything that went down in college football's Week 5 recap. So, let's start with AP Poll Top 10. Or I'll start with the AP Poll Top 25. We're just going to go down the list. We're going to look at what changed. We had a couple teams drop out of the top 25, had a couple teams drop out of the top 10, as you know. A lot of good matchups this weekend, a lot of ranked matchups. I think we had 6 ranked matchups, which is a boatload, because next week I think we only have 2. But number 1, Ohio State stays at 1, comfortable win at Washington, made it look like a home field for them. Number 2, Oregon. They jump up to number 2 after defeating Penn State in the craziest atmosphere in college football, the whiteout. Number 3, Miami. Had a bye week. They prepare to go into Tallahassee, Doak Campbell Stadium, Saturday. Be there. It's going to be a good one. Number 4. Very interesting here. Number 4 is Ole Miss. I can't remember the last time I saw Ole Miss in the top 5. Trinidad Chambliss, backup quarterback for Ole Miss, looks great. They look great. Went at LSU over the weekend, got it done, covered the spread, did it all. Number 5, Oklahoma had a bye week as well. They jump up to number 5, 2 spots. They jumped up 2 spots. Number 6, Texas A&M moves up 3 spots. They had a concerning win over Auburn. I don't think many people thought it was going to be that close of a game. Auburn's got some talent, and it was a good game. I think they won 16-10. Auburn's not a bad team. It was a fight till the end. They had to dog it out. They had to duke it out. They won in a different way than they did against Notre Dame. So I'm liking what I'm seeing from them too. Number 7, Penn State. Penn State drops to number 7. They drop 4 spots. They lose at home against Oregon in double overtime. Heartbreaker. You know, Penn State fans, I think you prepared for the worst. Honestly, I would. What changed? Nothing. Okay, I'm jumping the gun here. Let me slow down. We're going to get into that later. Number 8, Indiana. Not sure why we have Penn State above Indiana right now. Indiana looks pretty good. It might be because of Indiana-Iowa over the weekend. Indiana won in Iowa fashion. They played Iowa football, and they beat Iowa. Number 9, Texas jumps back into the top 10 at number 9. Number 10, Alabama, also jumping back into the top 10. First time we've seen them in the top 10 since week 1, or preseason. But pretty good win for them at Athens, at Sanford Stadium, against the Georgia Bulldogs. Number 11, Texas Tech. Number 12, Georgia. They dropped 7 spots. Number 13, LSU. They dropped 9 spots. 14, Iowa State. Undefeated Iowa State, 5-0. 15, Tennessee. 16, Vanderbilt. Ooh. Why'd you pause, Brandon? Vanderbilt. Watch out. Watch out for Vanderbilt. Watch out for Diego Pavia. They're coming. They got a good matchup. We're going to see if they're the real deal or not this weekend. Number 17, Georgia Tech. Number 18, Florida State. Womp, womp, womp. Florida State. Number 19, Missouri. 5-0 as well. Kind of makes me cringe seeing Missouri this low. 5-0 SEC team. We have them at 19. Number 20, Michigan. 21, Notre Dame. 22, Illinois. 23, BYU. 24 and 25 jumping back into the top 25. Number 24, we have Virginia. First time we've seen them in the top 25 this year. Very, very good win over Florida State there in Virginia. 25, we have Arizona State, who also makes their way back into the top 25. I believe they're in the top 20 earlier this year, but they get their get back. 26, we have South Florida, who is slowly making a comeback into the top 25 as well. 27, Utah. 28, Mississippi State. 29, Memphis. And to round out our top 30, I kind of went too far, but here we are at number 30. We have Louisville. So, I don't disagree with a whole lot. The big one I disagree with is probably Missouri at 19. I'd like to see them a little higher. Everything else, can't complain about. Texas, questionable if they belong back in the top 10. Penn State, questionable if they even belong in the top 10, but I'll give them 22 out of 25. I like it. So I'm going to hit on my top 10 here. Number 1, Ohio State. Number 2, Oregon. Number 3, Miami. Number 4, we have Oklahoma. Number 5, I have Texas A&M. I have Texas A&M in front of Ole Miss. And then number 6, I have Ole Miss. I think that's flip-flopped in the AP, but this is the BP, the Brandon poll. It's more factually correct, as I like to call it. Number 7, I have Indiana. Number 8, Texas Tech. Number 9, I have Alabama. And to round out my top 10, I have the Vanderbilt Commodores. The Vanderbilt Commodores. Diego Pavia, I really like what I saw from them against Utah State. Utah State's kind of sneaky. They were 3-1, I believe, going into Vanderbilt, and they put up a pretty good fight. I think they lost by 20, but Utah State covered at the very last second, which I had Utah State covering the 22.5. They lost by 20, so I like it. Dropping out of my top 10, I have Florida State, Penn State, and Georgia. Many people probably disagree with me dropping Georgia out of the top 10, but we didn't even win against Tennessee. Tennessee lost that game. And then you host Alabama. Everything's in your favor. Everything is in Kirby Smart's favor to get his get back. We had people in the comments saying we're not worried that Georgia hasn't beaten Alabama in 21 years in Sanford Stadium. We might have another 21 more on our belt here before Georgia beats Alabama in Sanford. Yeah, so that rounds out my top 10 and who is dropping out of my top 10. I haven't gotten Troy's or Jake's top 10 yet, but there will be a post on Instagram and Twitter for their top 10s as well if you're interested in that. I'm sure they'll have some good lists. Probably nothing I will completely disagree with. So let's get into our season-long spread pick'em. Me, Jake, and Troy decided to do all of the games that we're giving you guys week by week on a week-to-week basis. We're giving you guys 4 to 6 games. I think we gave you guys 4 in week 0. We've given you 5 the first 4 weeks, and then we gave you 6 last weekend, week 5, because it was such a good weekend. But here's what it is. So Troy's doing win or lose, no money line, no spread, because he is a collegiate coach, so he cannot be betting or convincing anyone that he is betting. No Venmos. Check the Venmo history. There ain't no Venmos to us or to me or Jake or to anyone. Just covering his butt here. Troy, currently 16-6, being the winner or the loser of all the games so far. Jake, kind of having a down year. He likes to go against the public a lot, and the public must be doing pretty good right now because Jake is 11-18. 11-18. And then I am 15-14. I started off really good, 4-0. I think I was like 7-2 in week 1, and then the slow bleed out. I'm just above 500. So I need my get back weekend this weekend, week 6. We're gonna see if I can go 5-0. Hopefully. I actually started off week 5 pretty good. I picked Virginia to cover 6.5, and they won. So we actually had that game on Upset Watch. If you listen to Into the Trenches on Friday morning, we were all over Virginia, Florida State game. We thought the spread looked weird. Vegas kind of threw us a curveball, saying like, yeah, we know something's up. This could be a look-ahead game for Florida State. And Virginia, hasn't looked bad. No one's really talked about them. Offense looks good. And then they come out there and just go touchdown for touchdown with them. Went up 14-0 in the first quarter. Then they slowly tie the game, or Florida State slowly ties the game up. And then it was just back and forth all game until overtime, double overtime. And that's when Castellanos, first off, to end regulation, it was like 4th and 7. Castellanos had to scramble out of the pocket, throw a sidearm ball into the end zone, squeak it into a tight window for a touchdown to tie it up, to go into overtime. First overtime, they go back and forth, 7s. And then Virginia started with the ball. It's double overtime. So double overtime, how it works is, first overtime, it's just like regulation. Each team gets a chance to score and kick a PAT. They can go for 2 if they want to. Double overtime, once they score a touchdown, they have to go for 2, no matter what. So, game's on the line basically. Florida State has to get a touchdown and convert the 2-point conversion to win the game. Florida State, I think it was like 4th and 12 or something. Castellanos drops back, gets instantly pressured. I mean, they only sent 4. Virginia's defensive line only sent 4 guys, and they got a ton of pressure on them right away. They got a ton of pressure on him all game, but they got so much pressure on him right away. He had to make a crazy throw, and it was picked off by Virginia's cornerback, and that was the craziest field storming I've ever seen. The fans were literally waiting on the field. Half of them were probably on the field. And then the other half was on the field in the other half second. Like, it got so loud. Like, the student section just booked it, dude. It was insanity. I don't think I've ever seen a field storming like that. That was awesome. And Virginia, not really known for college football. I mean, they had a full crowd. I mean, they're hosting number 10 Florida State. Who's not going to that game? Friday night. What else are you going to do? Go to the frat party? No. I'm going to see Florida State. Hopefully not stomp down the Cavs' throats. But that field storming was sick. So, moving over to our first game of Saturday, we had number 21 USC go into Champaign, Illinois, facing number 23 Illinois. Final of the game was 34-32. Illinois, last second field goal. Big old donut on the clock as the ball goes to the uprights there. Illinois covers the +6 spread. Let me look at the stats here. I don't have them pulled up. 1 second. So Jaden Mayava, 30 of 40. Jaden Mayava, USC's quarterback, 30 of 43, 364 in the air, 2 touchdowns, 1 pick. Luke Altmaier, Illinois quarterback, 20 of 26, 328, 2 touchdowns. His QBR was 210. That's pretty high there. USC went 4 of 5 on 4th down. Illinois converted the only 4th down of the game. USC outpassed them by 30 yards. Illinois outrushed them by 50. Not a crazy box score here. Yeah, Illinois gets their get back. Little revenge tour possibly for Illinois. Who knows? They're not a bad football team. I think they just got caught like a deer in headlights against Indiana. Like, they just didn't know what to do. Bielema gets his get back at a pretty decent USC team. I don't want to hype them up just yet. I don't want to say they're going to be great or anything, but this is a better USC team that we've seen in the past couple of years. So, good win for Bielema. Good get back for him. Next game that we gave y'all was number 4, LSU, at number 13, Ole Miss. Ole Miss dukes it out with LSU for 4 quarters. Ole Miss gets the stop, and they run out the clock to win, 24-19, against number 4, LSU. Ole Miss covers the spread, 1.5. Trinidaddy Chambliss, and now LSU's daddy. That's what y'all got to call him for the next 10 weeks. Gets his 3rd win in a row as Ole Miss's backup quarterback. Or should we upgrade him to starting quarterback? You can actually drop the T. It's star quarterback because this kid's a baller. I mean, great game from him. And this kid came from Ferris State, and you might think, what's Ferris State? Well, Ferris State's one of the best FCS programs. They develop athletes out of that place, and they transfer out, but great coaching staff. Great facilities, everything. And they did a great job with Trinidad here. And he comes into Ole Miss as a backup, kind of quiet, and slowly making his way to the top. Trinidad, 23 of 39, 314 passing yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. Garrett Nussmeier, 21 of 34, 197 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. And I actually want to talk about LSU here. The LSU run game. Absolutely brutal. I'm going to describe LSU's run game. Ready? Listen closely. There it is, I said it. Doesn't exist. They can't run the ball against air. If you want to be successful in college football, if you want to call yourself a powerhouse, if you want to have like a meaningful season or career, I shouldn't say career because it's not just one player, but if you want to have a elite tier 1 team, you have to be able to run the football, or at least adapt to it, like throw some bubbles or sweeps, or meet in the middle, throw a couple motions in here. At least if you don't have good running backs, at least get them a head start with some motions or some bubble screens. Get their legs moving to get them a couple extra yards. But anyway, LSU's running offense is atrocious. It's non-existent. Here's a list of the last 10 national champions and their running backs, just to show you why you need to be able to run the ball to win a national championship. Number 24, 2024, Ohio State. Keyshawn Judkins, Trey Henderson, 2,100 rushing yards combined. 2023, Michigan. Edwards and Corum, 1,500 yards combined. 2022, Georgia. McIntosh, Dejon Edwards, Kendall Milton, 2,100 combined. 2021, Georgia. Zamir White, James Cook, 1,600 rushing yards combined. 2020, Alabama. Najee Harris, Brian Robinson Jr., 1,900 yards combined. 2019 was an anomaly. Coincidence, it was LSU. Clyde Edwards-Helaire was their top rusher. He had 900 rushing yards that season. I'm gonna back it up here. Unless you are generational in the passing game, unless you are possibly the best offense of all time, averaging 50 points a game, then you get an excuse on not running the ball. But 9 out of the last 10 national champions were great at running the football. Let me continue. 2018, Clemson, Travis Etienne, 1,600 yards rushing. 2017, Alabama, Damian Harris, 1,000 yards rushing. Jalen Hurts, quarterback, 800 yards rushing. 2016, Clemson, Wayne Gallman, 1,200 rushing yards. Watson had 600. You understand? LSU has 2 guys, Dose, above 100 rushing yards. 2 running backs above 100 rushing yards. It's week 5. What are we doing? We have teams averaging per game what LSU has all season. We're cooked. This is a terminal issue. This is a problem. Same with Clemson. This is why we spent the last 6 weeks talking about if we really think just because you bring back the same team, same offense, that you magically get better like a video game. Your rating just magically goes up. Here's your statistical and factual answer. No, it doesn't. And that's what we've been saying. You don't just magically get better in a category that you weren't good in last year because you have the same team. If anything, you question if it stayed the same. You don't think, oh, they had all week to practice, or all year to get better. They had all offseason, all spring, all summer to get better in the rush game. How does that even make sense? Who are they rushing against? Their own team? Like, how do you know you're getting better? It just doesn't make sense. LSU has a terminal problem at the running back category right now. I'm not saying it's the players' fault, but it's ugly. And I'm sorry, LSU fans. I don't see y'all even making the playoffs this year. Sorry, I had to get that out. Let's move on. 3:30 game, Saturday. Number 1, Ohio State goes into Washington. Final, 24-6. Ohio State wins comfortably. They cover the spread. Ohio State 9.5. Complimentary football. That's what we saw from Ohio State on Saturday. Complimentary football. Why play fast when you can play at your own pace? They had 6 offensive drives in this game. 6. 30 minutes of possession. 6 drives. They lost the explosive play counter 4-0. They didn't have one explosive play. Not one play went past 20 yards on its own. Washington had 4. Number 1 offense in the country going into this game. Ohio State wins by 3 scores. This was like a slow bleed out. This was like, we're going to make you play at our pace. We're going to go up no matter the score, and we're just going to do what we want. It doesn't matter. We're not going to get crazy. We're not going to let Julian Sayin, go off on a branch here and do what he wants. We're going to contain him. We're not going to release the beast just yet. He's not Julian Slayin yet. He's Julian Sayin, quarterback for the Ohio State Buckeyes. Number 2, longest home win streak snapped. It looked like a home game for Ohio State. The Bucs travel well. I mean, pull up a picture on Twitter or something. You'll see it looks like 60% red in the stands. The OHIO was echoing through Seattle. I mean, 75,000 seating in the stadium, in Alaskan Airlines Husky Stadium. And 45,000 were Ohio State fans. We're over 1,000 miles away from home. Ohio State defense, one word to describe it: suffocating. Suffocating. You may get a grasp of air every once in a while, like we saw with those explosive plays, but you will run out of breath eventually. I mean, Arvell Reese, this kid looks like the fastest player on the field at all times, and he's a linebacker. Like, how? This kid looks crazy. Ohio State red zone defense, best in the country. You have a 33% chance to even score, not a touchdown, score points against Ohio State's defense right now. That's wild. 33% chance to even score a point in the red zone against Ohio State's defense. Nobody else is below 50%. But the comments in the forums will still flood with the "I don't believe it" and this and that, and they haven't played a real team. Oh, who's Washington played against? Why is their offense number one in the country? That's why, because they haven't played anyone. I can hear it already. Ohio State, number 3 on the strength of record so far. The only 2 teams they're below is Oregon and Texas A&M. Strength of schedule left, 15. 4 of those teams are on the schedule. So 4 of the teams above them on the strength of schedule are teams that Ohio State's playing. They can't schedule themselves. They're at a disadvantage for strength of schedule. I'm sure that'd be better than... I'm sure Ohio State facing each other would probably be a better competition than 80% of the nation. Honestly, let's think about this for a sec. Ohio State's offensive starters against Ohio State's offensive or defensive starters, and then you have Ohio State's backup on offense against Ohio State's backup on defense. Who's winning that game? That's actually a crazy game. You see the best offense and defense go against each other, and you see the backups go against each other on the flip side. I kind of want to see that. I do. That'd be kind of sweet. Regardless, Ohio State comfortably drowns out the noise. 24-6 win at Washington. Breaks the 22-game home streak for the Huskies. Julian Sayin, 22 of 28, 208 passing, 1 touchdown. Didn't go crazy. Did what he was supposed to do. Jeremiah Smith, 80 receiving yards, 1 touchdown. Pretty good day from him. Also nothing crazy. They're not trying to unleash that beast just yet. I think they want to like save it for when it's absolutely needed. What else we got? Oh yeah, I forgot about this so-called game. Number 6 Oregon at number 3 Penn State. Oregon wins 30-24 in double overtime. Oregon covers the 3.5 spread. Once again, Penn State loses the big one. As a Penn State fan, you gotta feel like hopeless going into every big game, because when's the last time they won a big game? Not in the playoffs. I'll wait. They didn't win a big game in the playoffs. They had a cupcake route to the semifinals. Cupcake. James Franklin, 4-21 now against the AP poll top 10. That's 16% win rate. And probably most of the time, Penn State was in the top 10 when they faced another top 10 team. 16% win rate from James Franklin now ties the 3rd worst percentage in AP top 10 history. I think the only coach below him is Frank Beamer, Shane Beamer's dad at Virginia Tech. I think 1980s to 1990s, Virginia Tech was always facing top 10 teams, but they could never win. I think Frank Beamer went like 2-20 against, or 2-24 against top 10s during that time. And honestly, this game shouldn't even have been close. If we're box score bandits here, let me take a look. Oh, Oregon still should have won this game. Handedly. Like 30-9 handedly. They should have won by like 3 touchdowns. It was very close, and there was a no targeting call at the very end in overtime that should have went Oregon's way, and it didn't. It was probably the definition of targeting, and it didn't get called. It was brutal. Like, how do you miss that call? That's terrible. Regardless, it didn't hurt them. They still won the game, and Dane Lanning still Victor Formation's Coach of the Week this week. Congrats, Dane Lanning, Coach of the Week, baby. He's kind of scary. He I don't know. He wishes he like prays that Oregon wins. Like he like, I don't even know how to describe it. You can just see the look in his face. He's like obsessed with it. I mean, what coach doesn't want to go into a whiteout, Penn State whiteout, and destroy 112,000 people's hopes? I mean, it had to have been 90% to 10% fans in that stadium. Honestly, watching that game, I watched the kickoff. I was at the Tribe game, but I just wanted to see the kickoff and see how crazy it was. The clip of them playing Michigan in the night whiteout a couple years ago was crazier than what we saw Saturday. I don't know why. I think I don't want to say they tried too hard because then they would have been louder, but it's like wasn't as crazy as I thought it was going to be. I thought James Franklin had all them people hyped up and ready to go, and they were going to be breaking mics or something. But regardless, it really wasn't that crazy. So that rounds out our top 6 games of the weekend. What happened outside of those games? Well, let me start on Friday night. We're going to go back to the top here. Outside of our top 6 games, we had number 24 TCU go into Arizona State. Arizona State takes it 27-24. Sam Leavitt, 27 of 39, 290 passing, 2 touchdowns. Raleek Brown, Arizona State's running back, 21 carries, 130 yards, no touchdowns. Jordan Tyson, Arizona State's wide receiver, 8 catches, 126 yards, 2 touchdowns. TCU penalties killed them. Looks like they had 2 interceptions and a fumble lost. Arizona State wins by a field goal for the 2nd straight week. Ooh, what else? We got Duke blowing out Syracuse here, 38-3. Darian Mensah, 22 of 28, 6 incompletions, 270 passing yards, 2 touchdowns. Duke's quarterback. Pretty good. Nate Shepard, Duke's running back, 15 carries, 170 rushing yards, 2 touchdowns. That's 12 yards a carry. My goodness. Duke outgained them 503 yards to 314. Whoa. Number 22, Notre Dame, goes to Arkansas for the very first time these two teams have ever played each other. Notre Dame wins 56-13, and Sam Pittman, Arkansas head coach, gets fired on Sunday morning. Took the job when no one else wanted it. I mean, Northwest Arkansas. What is in Northwest Arkansas? A bunch of barbecues? That's about it. Top 5 things to do in Arkansas: go to a barbecue. 5 times in a row. And that's probably it. I mean, Little Rock, not the safest place to live. Regardless, kudos to Sam Pittman for taking this job when no one else wanted it. Arkansas, great facilities. They got decent money. They're in the SEC, but who wants to go there and coach when you know you're going to end up maximum 7th in the SEC in football? Nobody. Yeah, you're going to get paid, but when the SEC pays, they expect too. And how do you have your expectations set so high at Arkansas? You can't recruit. Everything around you is going to a better SEC team or ACC team, or coming up to play for Ohio State, or coming up to play for Michigan. It's a hard place to coach and recruit. They got good facilities and everything, but it's just an unsatisfying job. Arkansas head coach. It really is. I feel bad for him. Get paid really good, but the expectations are way too high for that. Bowling Green goes to Ohio. Ohio takes it 35-20. Closer game than I thought it was going to be. Cincinnati beats Kansas. Georgia Tech beats Wake Forest by 1 point in overtime. Now, I heard a lot of people saying Wake Forest got screwed. Wake Forest, the ACC refs blew this game. They gave Georgia Tech this win. Wake Forest had this game in the bag. Blah blah blah. Whatever. I went back and watched it. ACC refs screwed them. They stole this game from Wake Forest. Georgia Tech should have lost it. Now I'm saying it because what a terrible blown call by the ACC refs here. So, to put it in perspective, Wake Forest is up 23-20 with the ball. 2 minutes left in the game. Marching down the field, about to score a touchdown, about to go up by 10. It's 3rd and 6. He hikes the ball. Robbie Ashford, Wake Forest quarterback, hikes the ball. Before he hikes the ball, a Georgia Tech defender crosses the neutral zone. You know, and the center did his job. Saw the guy cross over to the neutral zone, snapped it immediately. Okay, what does Robbie Ashford do? Oh, I got a free play. They're going to call defensive or offsides on the defense. Free play. Throw it downfield. You know, what's the worst that can happen? I gain 5 yards. I throw a pick that doesn't count and I gain 5 yards. Yep. What did they do? They throw the ball. Ball lands. No flag to be seen. No flag on the field. Wake Forest just wasted a down. Now they have to punt it because they're at like the 40 on Georgia Tech's side of the field. What are you gonna do? Give Georgia Tech a free field goal? They got to get 10 yards to get a field goal? No, you're gonna punt it. So everyone's losing their mind. Wake Forest coach is losing his mind. Robbie Ashford losing his mind because the offsides wasn't thrown, and they end up going into overtime. Georgia Tech marches down the field. Haynes King does what he does best. You know, does his little late drive to win the game. They go to overtime. Georgia Tech scores a touchdown, kicks an extra point. Wake Forest extra point was blocked, and they lose the game. They didn't attempt the extra point. They went for the 2-point. They said, screw y'all. We're going to win this game. We're not going to double overtime. We're either going to win it or die by the sword. And Georgia Tech got the stop in overtime and escapes at Wake Forest. So, yeah, Georgia Tech should have one loss. They should be 4-1. Wake Forest should be 3-1. But sadly, it's the other way around. Georgia Tech stays alive by the skin of their teeth. I feel bad for Wake Forest, man. That's just brutal. And then you say refs blew the game. Oh, they missed a holding call. Holding call. It's still a live ball. It's not like, you know, holding is like judgmental. Like some refs let it go a little too far, which honestly, if you look at every single block, there's holding in some form. Whether it's legal or not, there's holding in some form. It's just up to the refs to make that decision. But this one was a factual thing. It was not controversial at all. The defender even knew that he messed up, and they still called it. Or they still didn't call it. It was a blown play. It was a blown call that lost Wake Forest this game. And what I don't get is how teams get penalized for a coach saying this or player saying that or a hot mic or, you know, field storming. The ACC would get money from that, right? Well, when the ACC comes out and says, yeah, we messed up, sorry. So who are you sorry to? You're not sorry. You're sorry. Are you sorry for the players losing a game? They only get so many games in their career. You sorry to them? You sorry to the Wake Forest head coach who his livelihood depends on him winning football games? Like, we're just sorry. We're not going to give you any reparations for that. We're not going to give you some money for blowing a call. Like, this could have been a huge upset for Wake Forest. This could, like, throw them on the right track, and, you know, they could be looking at a top 35, 40 team right now, pushing for the AP Poll top 25. And coaches get paid when you make the top 25 at a program like Wake Forest. So I highly, highly disagree with how conferences are responding to their own actions and their own mistakes. Sure, the ref might get a couple weeks off, but he'll be right back out there. He'll be right back out there. I promise. Anyways, sorry for going on my rant. Let's see what else. Baylor goes into Oklahoma State. Oklahoma State loses. Baylor wins 45-27. Sawyer Robinson, another great day from him. Almost 400 passing yards again from this kid. 24 of 35. 393 in the air, 4 touchdowns, 0 picks. I think he is our passing leader in college football right now from Baylor. Pretty impressive. What else we got? Let's see. Indiana. I was talking about this earlier. Indiana wins 20-15. Plays Iowa football and wins. Indiana. I think they had a, what do you call it? Like a win high. It sounds like one word. I'm trying to say like a win hangover. Kind of what I'm saying here. Where you win a big game and then you come out the next week and you kind of like are lackadaisical and like don't give it your best effort and are kind of still not fully 100% focused. I think that's kind of what this game was. But also Iowa's defense is also always pretty stout. So I can see why the score was so close. I think Vegas had it as a 7-point game maybe. But regardless, Indiana, pretty interesting play to end it. Indiana has the ball with like 10 seconds left. Instead of punting it, here's what they do. To put it in perspective for my listeners, Indiana hikes the ball, 10 seconds left. The quarterback takes it, runs straight back, like 35 yards into the end zone for a safety as time runs out. Well, after a safety, there's no extra play. You don't get to punt after the time's out. At the end of regulation, it is what it is, no matter the safety or not. So, Indiana quarterback Fernando runs straight back, hangs onto the football, and just lays in the end zone. And they get a safety, but they win by 5. So, pretty interesting. A lot of people were mad because it was a 7-point game, and it ended up being a 5-point game. So if you had Indiana 6.5, that's probably one of the worst beats I've ever seen, but I apologize for Indiana's actions. Hopefully that makes up for it. Number 9 Auburn. Auburn at number 9 Texas A&M. Texas A&M squeaks it out 16-10. Texas A&M. I got them at number 5. I really liked what I saw. So we saw against Notre Dame, CJ Carr and Marcel Reed went at it in the air. 41-40 final score between those two teams. Last week, Texas A&M turns around. Mike Elko has them boys ready to play an entire different game. They rush for the same amount of passing yards they had. So they rushed and passed for 207 yards. Where did that come from? We haven't seen Texas A&M run the ball like this in forever. Le'Veon Moss, Texas A&M's running back, 21 carries, 140 yards, 1 touchdown. That's 6.7 yards a carry. That's scary. For any team that faces them from now on, like, what do you prepare for? You got to prepare for both now. You just saw them run against one of the best rush defenses in the country. Auburn's defensive line did really well against Oklahoma last week. I actually want to see how many rushing yards they gave up to Oklahoma last week. They gave up 32 rushing yards to Oklahoma last week. And then Texas A&M said, watch this. We're going to drop 200 plus on your head. Pretty scary from the Aggies there. Now any team that has them on the schedule the rest of the year has to prepare for the passing game for Marcel Reed and Casey Concepcion. Now they got to prepare for that rush game. Because that was a fantastic win. Yeah, they won by 6. Who cares? Texas A&M is scary now. Texas A&M is scary now. Mike Elko isn't messing around. Utah gets a get back at West Virginia, 48-14. Tennessee wins by 7 in overtime against Mississippi State. I think a lot of people are going to realize that Mississippi State is no joke. Joey Aguilar, Tennessee's quarterback, 24 of 40, 335 yards passing, 1 touchdown, 2 picks. Deshaun Bishop, Tennessee's running back, 11 carries, 72 yards, 1 touchdown, so 6.5 yards a carry. Nothing really crazy from Tennessee. 330 passing yards, 130 rushing. Mississippi State had 200 rushing yards. Tennessee's defense actually did pretty good. They had 5 sacks against Blake Shapen, Mississippi State's quarterback. But Tennessee gets a win. at Mississippi State in overtime. What else? What else? Virginia Tech now 2-0 post Brent Pry. They beat North Carolina State at North Carolina State. We were just talking about Virginia losing to North Carolina State by 4 on Friday morning. Terrion Stewart, shout out the boy from Sandusky. 15 carries, 174 yards, 11.6 yards a carry. That's a great day from the kid there. Great day from the kid. Kyron Jones, 20 of 34, 177 yards, passing, 2 touchdowns, and no picks. That is Virginia Tech's quarterback. So, Virginia Tech, flip the script. 2-0 now. Head coachless. Maybe they'll just not have a head coach the rest of the year. Maybe they'll win out. Be back in the running for the ACC. And then the last one I want to talk about is number 25, BYU at Colorado. BYU wins by 3, 24-21. Colorado led this entire game. Keaton Salter is now back in the game for Colorado. I know we talked about the third string there. I can't remember his name now, but the third string for Colorado. That didn't last long. Keaton Salter, 11 for 16, 120 passing yards, 1 touchdown, 1 pick. Not a great day from him, but yeah, BYU is now 4-0. One of the group of 5 teams that is starting to make a push. I think them, USF, and Memphis are probably our top 3 group of 5 teams this year. And then North Texas. Actually, I want to check to see what North Texas did. They won against South Alabama, 36-22. So North Texas is now 5-0. So those 4 teams, North Texas, Memphis, BYU, and USF, are our top group of 5 teams this year. I think we can comfortably say that. So one of them will get the last spot in the college football playoffs to represent. So let's jump on to our player of the week. We set our coach of the week, Dan Lanning, head coach at Oregon. Fantastic win. Goes in the whiteout. Gets a W in double overtime. Dante Moore looks great. Decorian Moore looks great. Oregon's defense, pretty good. They had 2 blown plays that got Penn State back into that game. But regardless, Oregon should have won that game by like 30, I think. Player of the week goes to Jalen Daniels, Kansas quarterback. 500 total yards on the dot. 19 of 28 for 445 passing yards. 19 passes completed. 145 passing yards. That's like 20 yards per pass. It's pretty good. Unreal, actually. 4 touchdowns thrown. And then he adds 55 rushing yards on top of all that. No picks. I think he had 1 fumble, but they ended up losing to Cincinnati. My half alma mater. My dropout alma mater. Then moving on to our uniform of the week. Boise State Broncos will take Week 5's uniform of the week. They wear all blue, head to toe, with the Broncos emblem on their helmet. Pretty sick from them boys. West Virginia kind of did a throwback of like a navy and a gold, like a champagne gold color. That was pretty cool. I think it was like 1965 throwback, but I think that about does it, folks. We beat the hour. 50 minutes right now. 50 minutes and we're about to wrap this thing up. If y'all enjoyed this video, if y'all enjoyed the podcast, please like, please subscribe. It costs nothing to do so. Couple seconds of your time. Go on Instagram at VFCollegeFB. Go to YouTube, same thing. Twitter. If you're on Twitter, give us a follow, give us a like, whatever. Really appreciate it. I put a lot of my free time into this, and it's something I do. It's something I love to do. So regardless, I'm going to keep doing it because I love it. So with that being said, I hope y'all will join us as in me, Jake, and Troy, Friday morning for our Week 6 Into the Trenches episode. We're going to give you guys 5 shalls. If y'all have been listening, you know what the shalls are. You know what a shall is, I should say. You don't know what the shalls are yet. You'll get them here in a couple days. Appreciate y'all listening this far. If you made it this far, I love you guys. Thank you guys so much. And we'll see you on Friday morning.